Most B2B companies are doing lead generation like it's 2015, hiring SDR, spraying cold emails and hoping someone books a demo. But AI has completely changed how sales works for good. And if you don't adapt, you will get left behind. If you run a B2B business that relies on strategies like cold email, LinkedIn prospecting, or even outdated strategies like networking at conferences and relying on referrals, you will not last long in today's market. I'm going to show you the exact system we use to replace about 80% of that manual work with AI and automation. It's the same system that's booking us 30 to 50 qualified sales calls a month for a B2B service business in the finance industry. By the end of this video, you'll be able to install it step by step. Let's get straight into it. Before we touch any software, let's fix the biggest mistake that kills every AI sales system before it even starts. Most business owners I talk to don't have absolute clarity on who their ideal customer is, which means we spend a lot of time working this out before building the actual system. If your audience isn't crystal clear, your AI cannot be personalized to each prospect that you reach out to. AI can only amplify if you have clarity. So our first step is to build your ideal client profile, aka your ICP. Because once you know exactly who you're selling to, the rest just gets a lot easier. So here's how to work out your ICP in the simplest way. You've got industry verticals, so pick 2 to 3 sectors you actually get results in. Not what you like, but instead where you've got proven return on investment. Maybe you run a brokerage or a lending firm who need more introducers. Maybe you are an accounting firm targeting other business owners. You need to keep a deep handle of everyone who you get results for, and that is going to train our AI. AI personalization works best when it recognizes patterns in similar companies. You got to give it a consistent data set to learn from. Step 2 is actually to think about the company size and the stage that it's at. For LinkedIn and email outreach, the sweet spot for us is around 10 to 50 employees, generating anything from $500,000 to $10 million in annual turnover. The reason is anything below that budget is a bit too tight, and above that budget, the decision-making process is too slow. There's too many chains of command. Middle market firms move fast and they just buy on logic. Now, given all the information I've told you, you need to start to plot out your ICP. And I'll give you a visual reference now. So when we're generating lead lists for companies, we look at specifics. We filter by industry, company size, titles, and I can show you an example of one that we might build for a certain company. 10 to 50 employees, director, CXO, owner, partner, United Kingdom, retail, and the industry is going to be retail and apparel and fashion as an example. Obviously, you've got to think about where your ICP is in terms of location and also what industry. On top of that, we do a lot of marketing through LinkedIn, and that's also how we generate emails. The best thing we can do is get people that are active on the platform. So we actually have the ability to look at who's posted on LinkedIn recently. It's very, very powerful. So now you know your ICP, you also need to think about the roles to target. So who are the individuals in these companies that you need to actually talk to? Is it the CEO? Is it the founder? Or is it someone a layer below that? Maybe it's the head of operations, the marketing director, the head of sales. Each person has a different language. Each person's suffering with different pain within their business. So a founder will care about growth and freedom. The head of operations cares about efficiency and systems. A marketing director might care about performance and ROI. Your AI needs to recognize the differences in that tone when you do our reach out. We feed our models LinkedIn data and company bios, so they know how to talk to each persona. I'll get into the details of that in a second. Right now, we're laying the foundation so that you can build a successful AI B2B sales system. The next thing you need to ask yourself is, what's the one problem that is so painful for these businesses that they will move the budget very quickly to try and solve it? For some, it might be generating leads. For others, it's conversion. For others, it might be talent. For example, if you do recruitment, it really does depend. We work with a lot of finance businesses who do payment processing, or they do really large finance deals where they lend money. You have to think, what does this person need? Put those pain points in a list, and that's going to be your AI's priority. Now, before we actually build the AI system for email and LinkedIn, we should put it in ChatGPT and just get some more ideas. Here's a little prompt that I use as an example for a certain type of company. So you're a B2B sales analyst for my accounting company. We service small business owners in the fashion industry who hate managing bookkeeping. Fashion companies need to be between 20 to 50 staff members, UK-based, annual turnover between 2 to 10 million. Their main pain point is they feel their current accounting team could be saving them more money, and they feel they are paying too much in taxes, and a good tax strategist would save them more cash. They also don't want to handle account in-house because it's a difficult role to manage, right? I've just asked ChatGPT that. Then I'm going to say, give me 3 messaging angles around their main pain points that I have mentioned. Within seconds, you get 3 angles you can turn into LinkedIn messages, ads, or scripts. That's AI doing market research for you. Once you have this, you're ready for the next phase, the engine that gets you leads without spending a penny on ads. I know that was a bit of a long build up, but it's very important. Now, we're going to park the paid advertising for a second. If you can master AI-powered LinkedIn and email outreach, you won't need ads immediately. The truth is, ads work, but they're expensive and they're slow to optimize in B2B. Outreach gives you speed and data. So we split this into 2 lanes, LinkedIn and email. And I'm going to go back to my trusty Miro board to kind of demonstrate what that looks like. So now we've generated our ICP. We know who that is. We basically have one main funnel, AI outreach via LinkedIn. And I would advise everybody to upgrade to Sales Navigator. And then we're going to start to build out what this looks like. So you got the LinkedIn process. Obviously, like I mentioned before, you should upgrade to Sales Navigator. And then you want to filter by industry, company size, title, location, all of that based on your ICP. And you save that search. And I'll show you an example of a search here, as you can see on the screen. Step 2 is to actually connect your AI automation tool. It doesn't matter what one you use. There are so many. You got SendPilot, you got Dripify, you got Meet Alfred. They all do the same stuff. It's not really about the software. It's about how you use it. And then now you've got your ICP. You need to build out a list of at least 1,000 to 2,000 people at a minimum is my personal preference. And I'll show you quickly how you can do this. And I'll show you quickly what our internal KPI benchmarks are for something like this. For one account that has Sales Navigator, we can do about 200 to 250 requests per week, 30 to 40% acceptance rates. We're looking for a 25 to 50% reply rate and then a 10% booking rate. So one LinkedIn account could get us 5 to 10 calls. And if you're running 5 accounts, times that by 5 basically, and that's 40 to 50 calls monthly. No SDRs, no extra salary needed, no commissions for a sales team. It's all yours. And that is basically the maths behind the system. And here's where it gets powerful. This is the magic sauce. Your AI scans each prospect's LinkedIn bio, company overview, and even recent post. Then you can use it to write a personalized line before even sending a message. And I'll use my profile as an example. You can see here, I've got my headline, co-founder of Scaling Edge, AI marketing consultant, blah, 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 blah. I've got this section. I've obviously got content on my LinkedIn page, and I've got the About Me section, and I have a business page, which also has a company overview. We use that data to then craft the personalized message so that every message you send is unique and you're not sending out spammy, boring LinkedIn messages that people get all the time. After your AI scans your prospect's company page and personal page, it will send a very personalized message. And I'll make up a fake example right now, but it might be something like, "Hey Sarah, saw your team just opened a new office in Leeds. Congrats. Curious how you're handling lead flow across multiple locations." That single line takes you from being a robot to a human. I mentioned location. I mentioned something relevant because it was based on a post that she made. And ultimately, that's what makes it more human. After that, I personally like to follow up with voice notes. So I will send that, then a voice note, and usually I get a response. So that little voice note touch is small, but it makes a difference between automation and authenticity, essentially. Now, one of our clients is a crypto payment processor. I can't say their name due to privacy reasons, but they handle large payments in the multi-millions. They wanted to expand in the Middle East market. We've done this exact same process, and they already got 5 calls lined up in a week with major financial institutions in the UAE. And that's the power of AI. So we've spoken about how to do it with LinkedIn. Now we've got to pair that with email. Now we use Instantly AI. There are a million cold email softwares you can use. It handles the warming up of your inboxes, deliverability, and also you can do AI personalization in one place. Now you upload your lead list, name, email, company, LinkedIn URL, and Instantly pulls context from their domain and writes unique intros. Our email structure is quite simple. We have a personalized opener with a value hook. We just want to get them to respond. Email number 2, if they don't respond, is just another follow-up. And then email number 3 is basically like a soft close. And the way that I like to do it is I will say something like, "Are you the right person to keep following up with? If not, can you please put me in touch with the right individual? I'll drop you another email just in case." So I'm letting them know that I am going to follow up again. But if they're not the right person, can they put me in touch with the right person? It's a little Jedi mind trick. After that, I don't really do anything else because I don't want to be too desperate. I don't want to push them. So all you're trying to do is start a conversation. You're not trying to make money straight away. Once they reply, the AI can pick up the conversation and qualify the lead and book the call. I personally like to have a look myself just to make sure everything's staying on point, but I will let the AI take over. So let's zoom out for a second. If one LinkedIn account books 2 to 4 calls a week and you run 5 accounts, that's 10 to 20 calls weekly. Pair that with email and you can comfortably hit 60 to 70 sales appointments every single month. And because AI handles the personalization and follow-ups, your team only focuses on the calls that matter. So now you have 2 outreach lanes running. You got LinkedIn for the personal touch, you've got email for the scale. Both are fueled by AI-driven personalization. And at this stage, you're no longer guessing who to message or what to say. You're executing basically a data-driven system that is running all the time. But what happens next is where most people lose sales. And it's when the replies start coming in. You need a way to separate the qualified from the curious without spending your entire day sitting in the inbox. Also, let's be honest, some people are just going to flat out say no, and that's okay. That's sales. Your SDRs and your sales team only have to focus on having conversations with qualified prospects. We've now built a system where positive replies are then funneled into a Slack channel so that we are getting back to the best leads and not fishing through a bunch of leads who are not qualified. We haven't quite mastered that system yet, so I will show you it once it's fully built. Drop a comment if you want to know. So now you can build a system that goes out there and hunts for people. But what about getting people to raise their hand to come and work for you? Yes, it's time to talk about paid marketing. The system I'm going to show you works for both Meta and LinkedIn. For B2B, we recommend LinkedIn. I recently had a sales call with a business owner who was running ads on Meta. His actual ads were crap. They were just still images, no life, no energy. And after opting into the form, there was no landing page or option to even book in a sales call. Then about 6 hours later, someone finally called me. And I'm telling you right now, that is killing sales. Because that is way too slow. Imagine a lead shows interest in your service or product and you wait 6 hours to contact them. It's too slow. So instead, we built an automated process that takes a cold lead to a qualified prospect for your sales team, and we use AI as the pin that holds it together. So let's start with comparing the two. When you're doing outreach, you're catching people one by one. With paid advertising, you can reach thousands of your exact ICP and automatically filter it by AI. Platforms like Meta and LinkedIn kind of do the same thing, but each kind of has their own personality. So LinkedIn is precise targeting, higher cost per lead, a bit more corporate, more focused on B2B. Meta, Facebook, Instagram is broader, targeting is cheaper cost, more emotional, definitely works well with B2C. But I would actually start with Meta for everybody and then transition to LinkedIn once we know we have an offer that works and we're getting lots of opt-ins, because it's faster to test, it's cheaper to optimize, and it's easier to feed data into the AI. So let's break down the full AI ads funnel. So it all starts with having some creative. Now, I know I've got some boilers here. It's just because I was basically helping out some client who install boilers. And you can see here, they've got images and we've got video. I generally prefer video. Video tends to work a lot better, but we have seen success with image ads, so I'm not going to completely shut them down. Then you want to have a landing page. Now, excuse my drawing here, but I have a basic landing page. It has a super specific headline about what we do, how it works. We usually have a video with a call to action and then a calendar underneath. In fact, I'll take this one step further. Our client here, Evolve Tax, has a very simple headline. Learn how we help companies save thousands every year. If you're a UK-based online business owner and you're tired of giving away your hard-earned money to HMRC, this video is for you. Then the calendar's right underneath. Got some more testimonials here and then a bit of credibility with the team. So this is what's possible when we have the right systems in place. And then from there, it's quite simple. People opt in. They give you their name, email, phone number. They land on that page. If they're qualified, they can book a call. And obviously, it's your job to close the deal. If they opt in, but they don't book a call, our AI lead handler then reaches out via WhatsApp instantly, okay? And also it will handle the back and forth. That's where the power is. Then after that, we have a 30-day SMS, email, and WhatsApp nurture sequence. So over the course of 30 days, they're getting text messages, emails, WhatsApps, just to nurture them, get them warmer. Because listen, in B2B, people don't just buy straight away. Sometimes it can take us 60 days, 90 days to get a deal across the line. And that's okay. We have to accept that that's a part of the process. But we have these systems in place to keep our leads super warm. And then if someone does not close, if we get on a sales call and they do not sign up, they just go back into another email and SMS sequence and WhatsApp. So we keep our leads very, very engaged. If a lead is disqualified, this now depends on what type of business you run, but we have a low ticket service, which we just send them to. And we also make sure that they still get nurtured via email and SMS. Just because someone's disqualified today doesn't mean they will not be qualified in a year. Right? So we keep them in our system for the future. It's very simple. So let me ask you a question. If you watched me for 1 minute or you just saw a picture of me, what would help you build more trust? Imagine you just saw this picture of me playing football. If you said video, you're right. So we shoot simple videos, 30 to 60 seconds, answering one question. What result do you help your clients get and what's the best system behind it? And this is my favorite structure. It's very easy, but we have a hook that is 3 seconds. Here's mine. Most B2B owners waste 80% of their outreach. Here's why. That's my hook. The story part would be explain what's broken in their process. That's the best way to do it. And that would be about 20 seconds. And I give some value, another 20 seconds. For me, I will be talking about my AI system, how it works, the automations, the results. Then I throw in a little bit of social proof. So I'll talk about a client, a testimonial, and then I will end it with a call to action. Something like, if you want the full breakdown, click the link below and I'll show you how it works, or book in a meeting. That's it. One hook, one story, value, testimonial, call to action. The AI will help you script it, edit it, and even subtitle it automatically. It's kind of up to you. Now, the landing page itself, I just showed you an example. Just keep it super simple. Don't try and make it hard. Don't list 47 benefits, 12 buttons, 3 pop-ups. You've literally got 5 seconds to catch someone's attention. So keep the structure simple. Strong headline. Here's an example. How we help B2B companies automate 80% of sales workflows with AI. A 3 to 6 minute explainer video, which most businesses should have. and then a form, name, email, phone number, or a calendar. Social proof, testimonials, and then a clear call to action. I see so many businesses effing this up. Don't do it. All right, that's it. Every other element, gone. Then hit submit and the AI takes over from there. So I showed you the most important part of this process, which is the AI follow-up. The AI is going to have all the conversations for me using WhatsApp. The reason we use WhatsApp is because in the UK and Europe, we get higher response rates. If I was marketing to the US, I would just do text. And my AI agent through WhatsApp literally says something quite simple. It will be like, hey, saw you were interested in our AI sales system. Can I ask what type of business do you run? That's literally it. And on top of that, we're sending emails while that's going on. Within 10 to 20 seconds, they usually respond. The AI then qualifies them, just like we showed you earlier, confirming company size, industry, budget. Then it will book them into the calendar. If they're not a fit, it will thank them and it will send them a free resource. And it's really that simple. It doesn't get any more complicated than that. Now, here's a bit more of the magic sauce here, because the truth is, this is where most people are going to F up. Once the lead is booked in, the lead receives another SMS, another WhatsApp, and an email. But the email is not just to confirm the meeting. It's a positioning-based email. So it will say something like, hey, name, your AI sales demo is confirmed. We'll walk you through how businesses like yours are booking 30 calls a month using AI-powered outreach and automation. Now, that's the value, but I'm not done. After that, I'll send them a video a bit like this. It'll be like, by the way, I made this video specifically for you. Please have a watch. It will prepare you for our meeting. And it's really important that you understand everything that the video shows you so that you can come to the call informed. I'm letting them know that this is very, very important. And I'm getting them to watch more of me so they feel more comfortable with me when we get on the call. Now, you're probably wondering, Jav, what about people who click my ad but they don't submit? Usually I would just say, forget about them, they're not interested. But they clicked your ad, so there's a level of interest there. And what I found is anyone who clicks the ad but doesn't book, they can be retargeted and they might be useful for your business in the future. So what we do is we run some very, very small budget ads to retarget anyone who engages with us. And that's where the AI-powered retargeting works really well, because AI is basically involved in all of Meta now. So we can target at different levels, but I mainly focus on people who have opened my form, but they just didn't take the next step. They didn't take that decisive step, and it's fine. So we set that up in Meta and we basically retarget all those people. We do the same thing in LinkedIn. So we built out a lot here, but how do we actually train your AI? Here's my advice. We use Go High Level. There are loads of different AI systems, but we use Go High Level. I've left the link in the description if you want a 14-day trial. We compile all our company documents, case studies, FAQs, past conversations, YouTube videos, tone guidelines, and we put them in one major knowledge base. It's a PDF file of everything written out. The AI understands it. And then we fine-tune prompts like this. When speaking to potential clients, respond as Scaling Edge's assistant, keep the tone friendly, professional, confident, identify if they're a B2B business making at least $500,000, and if they have a marketing or sales team. If they do, book a call. If they don't, offer a free resource. And then within hours and a bit more prompting, the AI bot becomes your best SDR. And the best thing about it is it don't sleep, it don't complain, it doesn't forget follow-ups, it's just there. Now, the system also handles cases where leads disappear, because how many times have you got leads into your system and they haven't been responded to, they don't respond to you, it happens, right? So if a lead goes silent for 24 hours, it sends a reminder. If there's no reply within 3 days, it tags them as a cold lead and then adds them to your nurture list. So no lead is ever truly lost. And the best part is because the AI books directly into your calendar, your CRM, your reporting, everything kind of stays in sync, which is very, very important. And that's how we hit consistent weekly call numbers without increasing ad spend or having to hire like more sales teams, which is usually the default kind of mindset that people do. And you got to remember, one thing that I've learned to realize is that the leads don't ghost you because they hate you. They ghost you because they're genuinely busy. So we use automation to stay politely persistent. Okay. It's very simple. Now, one of the aces up our sleeve, it's actually helped me generate about 10 grand last month, is our re-engagement agent. Now, we have a little secret sauce up our sleeve. Not every lead books in the first time around, and some people don't buy. And how many times have you signed up to something and just forgotten about it? It happens, and that's fine. What we do is we keep nurturing them. But every 30 days, we run an AI re-engagement campaign. And the message is quite simple. It might say something like, hey, name, quick one. We've just updated our AI sales system for 2025. Want me to send you the demo? And that one line, gets so many people to respond back because they've probably forgotten about you. They've had a really intense 14 days of you messaging, texting, WhatsApping. You let them go away for a bit because they haven't reacted to anything. And then you hit them up again when they're maybe a bit less busy. That one line reactivates all the cold leads who went quiet a month ago. Sometimes it's not always the time and it's the context. And that's what gives you another shot without having to do anything manually. So it's important that you have this system built And it's kind of the same thing that I showed you earlier on the screen, just a bit longer. We've got the outreach generating responses. We've got AI qualifying leads. We've got follow-up automations, and we've got a process that re-engages old leads. That's a bit of a machine, but this is the mindset shift. Once you build this, you kind of stop chasing leads. The system does it for you. Your only job is to show up and close. But let me tell you something. People will Google you and your company. So let's make sure what they find actually builds trust. And this is the next layer that most B2B owners just want to avoid and not do. I'm telling you, they're leaving money on the table. Every prospect you message and do outreach to, or who sees your ad, they're going to check your LinkedIn, they're going to check your Instagram, your website, and even your YouTube. And if they don't find anything, you may lose the sale. That's why we use AI to build what I call a content ecosystem, a system that proves your authority while you sleep. So let me show you the 30-day AI content plan. And it all starts with your ICP again. I know. We're talking about ICP and it's crazy, but it's quite simple. You can use ChatGPT or Claude. All you're going to do is ask it this: generate a 30-day content calendar specifically for LinkedIn. I want you to target, and then inside that, you put in your client ICP and include pain points, myths, and actionable insights. Within 30 seconds, it's going to give you 30 ideas. But I wouldn't stop at that point. I would also turn my ChatGPT into my AI ghostwriter. You basically need to build a custom GPT project for content. At the moment, I still prefer Claude, but I do use ChatGPT because that's what I'm paying for. That's what my team pays for. So I use both. Upload examples of your favorite creators, their scripts, their posts, their captions. So I literally go to find my favorite B2B business owners and I take their scripts. You're basically cloning their content style, but I also upload my knowledge base, so that is my branding and my tone and also my insights. Then it's quite simple. I'm going to tell my AI something like, write me a LinkedIn post that teaches ICP how to fix pain point using the same tone and pacing as competitor, conversational, witty, vivid, slightly provocative. Now your AI is going to write in your style. And honestly, it's more about how much you feed it. So you need to make sure you've got at least 5 to 10 scripts of your favorite content creators and people that have a brand and style that you wish you could have. Now, ChatGPT scripts are never perfect. You still got to tweak them, but it gives you a baseline. People are going to ask me, do I need to post every day? I've tested this across plenty of accounts. For me, on LinkedIn and Instagram, the sweet spot is anywhere from 3 to 5 days per week. Each post should do one of 3 things. Educate. When I say educate, it's like, here's how to fix X. Challenge. So for us, we might say something like, most agencies do this thing wrong. And then proof. Here's what happened when we tried this AI sales system for XYZ client. And then every post should have a little bit of a soft call to action. It might just be a call to action to ask them a question. It could be anything, but we usually say, leave a comment to join our newsletter or get this free guide, something like that. But that's our next trick. We push people to a newsletter or a guide. We collect those emails and then we start to build our email list. And now you can start to understand how we're actually building out a long-term ecosystem. Because now you've got a bunch of emails, you've got people that actually want to know what you do and they want to know in more depth. And people that read emails are more likely to spend more money. Once a week, send a short story-led email and you can write it using AI. You can even automate it. Let me show you. You might have like LinkedIn posts that do really well. And I will do it like this. Summarize my last 3 LinkedIn posts into a 3-minute email that teaches one key lesson and includes a call to action to watch my video. Let's say you got a YouTube video. That single newsletter becomes your trust engine because what it does is it now gets people to warm up to you and get to know more about the business. It nurtures prospects even if they're not ready to buy today. And that's the key here. And here's the real secret sauce, because it compounds. The more you do, the better it becomes. And I just want to flip back to my screen here and show you what my content ecosystem looks like, because for me, it's a little bit different. So I make a YouTube video, which is what you're watching right now. That gets turned into LinkedIn content. Then that gets turned into Instagram content. Then that gets turned into an email newsletter. So you can see from one long video, I'm distributing across multiple platforms. It's something that I saw from Matt Gray. He calls it the waterfall system. I call it the long-term growth flywheel. And if we tie it together, the ICP defines your messaging, the outreach creates conversations and the qualification filters out the quality. The content builds trust and authority, and then the newsletter, it nurtures. Now, this is how modern B2B growth looks. It's not just random marketing tactics. It's not spamming people on the phone. It's an integrated ecosystem built on AI and psychology. Now, I've given you everything. I've given you the full system in detail. You got 2 options here. You can send this to your sales and marketing team and they can copy it and they can learn all the systems and they can build it out for you. The system feeds itself. You outreach to create traffic. The traffic leads to conversations. The conversations become sales calls. Calls create results and testimonials. Testimonials become new ads. Ads generate new outreach audiences. It just loops forever. And each activity feeds another, meaning your marketing compounds instead of resetting. And if you can think of AI, not just as a salesperson, but more of a conductor, it's going to help. Because what it does is it pulls together all the moving parts, all the data, all the personalization, all the automations, all the segmenting of audiences. It does it for you. It analyzes your performance, all while you just focus on strategy and client delivery. And that's how you build a scalable B2B company. When AI handles repetitive sales work and your human team finally does what humans are good at, which is empathy, being creative and closing deals, that's the balance. And now you know the full architecture, you know the full system, you know the infrastructure, and you can measure it too. So you know how I spoke about building a re-engagement agent? Because, you're about to build the system and get a ton of leads. It's going to be critical that you follow up with these leads. And I just built out a full AI re-engagement bot live on a call. All you got to do is press this video right here. It's completely free. I shouldn't be giving it away, but I am. My business partner might kill me. Peace.